Speed Duel is a fast-paced alternative format for Yu-Gi-Oh! Using regular cards and throwing in skills to shake things up, making some unused cards more viable, allowing more anime strategies to come to life. Join us as we progress through each Speed Duel product release and draft each skill available at that time before battling it out in Speed Duel Skill Draft. Speed Duel Starter Decks Ultimate Predators was released August 1st, 2019, alongside Scars of Battle. Ultimate Predators includes two 30-card decks based around Weevil Underwood's insect cards and Rex Raptor's dinosaurs. This set includes 4 new skills for us to draft. Hypermetamorphosis can only be used while you control a level 3 or lower insect normal monster, and by discarding 2 cards and tributing that monster, you can special summon Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth from hand or deck. But any damage taken by your opponent is halved for the rest of the turn. And Nightmare Sonic Blast can only be used while you control Serpent Night Dragon and lets you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and use one of the following skills depending on the number of monsters revealed. 1. Add one of the revealed cards to your hand. 2. Destroy one card your opponent controls. 3 or more. Apply both effects. Since Alex lost last set, he drafts first and takes Nightmare Sonic Blast. I take Dinosaur Kingdom, followed by Alex taking Hidden Parasite, which leaves me with Hyper Metamorphosis. This is the deck we're bringing to today's game. This is Hyper Metamorphosis, kind of hand moderation beatdown. So the whole point of this deck is revolving around this skill, Hyper Metamorphosis. So we can flip this card over and activate the skill. You can activate the skill when you control a level 3 or lower insect normal monster. Discard 2 cards and tribute 1 level 3 or lower insect normal monster you control to special summon one Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Any damage your opponent takes the rest of the turn is halved. So halving damage your opponent takes is there just to make sure we just don't OTK someone out of nowhere. But the kind of annoying part of this card is that it only summons from hand or deck, which means we cannot summon from the graveyard if we already got one in there, and we cannot send the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth for cost for this card and then bring it back from the graveyard itself. So it can get a little bit funky when it comes to that. So to facilitate this effect, we are playing 4 level 3 or lower insect normal type monsters, 1 copy of Alan Section, and 3 copies of Kumutoko. These are in here just because they have the best stats for level 3 or lower normal monsters that we have access to. Obviously, we're on the 1 copy of Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. We don't really want to draw into this card, we just want to summon it off of our effect, so if we draw into this card, that is a big no-no. So Blade Knight is a 2000 attacker when we have 1 or less cards in our hand. Hyper Metamorphosis causes us to discard 2 cards, so it seems like a no-brainer if we just want to have kind of a beatdown strategy going with it. And the ability to stop flip effect monsters can be quite relevant. We're on 3 copies of the Koichi. This is to make sure that we keep cards in our hand so that we're actually able to activate Hyper Metamorphosis, because if we don't have any cards in our hand, we can't use it. And on top of that, when we do empty our hand, we want to be able to refill our hand with more options, because it is nice to stick a 3500 attack point monster, but the second Alex is able to out this card, we don't really have anything left, so we need to have some kind of backup plan, and that's the Koichi Blade Knight package. We're on 3 copies of Sphere Karibo, 3 copies of Nightbeam, and 3 copies of Security Orb. Now this is a meta call primarily because Alex has been on the Security Orbs and Nightbeams himself. So Nightbeam is a very useful card because if we go second and Alex sets a Security Orb, we can pop it and Alex has to destroy his own monster. On top of that, it is good to get rid of Alex's potential threats that could destroy our Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, and it can't be chained to, which is pretty nice. We're on the Security Orbs ourselves because Alex is also on the Nightbeams. This obviously means that he could do the same thing to us, but we can play smart and just not set Security Orb unless Alex has a monster out to pop. And the Sphere Karibo, again, it's when we've been playing stuff like Windstorm of Atarkwa, Alex has been able to Nightbeam it, just completely get rid of it and shut it down. So that's why we're on Sphere Karibo, because it cannot be hit by Nightbeam. We can just use it from our hand, and no matter what Alex has to destroy a back row, we could still interact with him during the battle phase. So for the side deck, 3 Windstorm of Atarkwa. This is basically going to come in if we see Alex isn't on Nightbeam, because it's a fantastic response card that we can use. And then 3 copies of Metal Morph. If Alex is able to stick big monsters, we can out them with things like our Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, but the caveat there is that we only have the 1 copy of Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, so if he gets outed himself, we need a way to get over Alex's bigger monsters. So using Metal Morph with something like Blade Knight means that he can attack over pretty much anything. So that is basically our backup strat. So this is the deck. We aren't feeling super confident in it. Hyper Metamorphosis is an interesting skill, but its cost is having to run a bunch of useless monsters in our deck, in our normal insects, Also, having to discard 2 cards is always a bad thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we summon a monster that can get outed pretty easily, so we're not feeling super confident, but we'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do and see if we can't crush some skulls with Perfect Ultimate Great Moth. So let's fire into the game and see what Alex has got. So, speed. We have opened the Ultimate Predators, which I personally am quite a big fan of. I have always been a fan of Rex and Weevil from the shows. The very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! I ever watched was Yu-Gi vs. Weevil. And because of that, I think it's always been very nostalgic to me just to see like the bugs come down. And obviously I've always been a big fan of dinosaurs in general. You know, I love dinosaurs in all media and all card games. So this has been quite a good one for me, at least in terms of like aesthetically. Now, we each drafted 1 Weevil and 1 Rex skill. So it'll be interesting to see if we have both brought the inverse of our skills. So last week I brought Dinosaur Kingdom, which was my Rex skill, and you brought... Oh, I can't remember what yours is called now. The one that turns everything into insects.
A Hidden Parasite.
That's it, Hidden Parasite, which was extremely powerful when you combined it with your Aerosol. But the other one that you have is your Rex skill, which was the... What's it called? The Sonic Blast?
Nightmare Sonic Blast.
Which is all about Serpent, Night Dragon, and mine is Hyper Metamorphosis, built around Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. So we don't necessarily have those skills today, but we could do. I'm interested to see what you have brought. And... I'll throw you the question. Do you think I brought Hyper Metamorphosis?
Odds are good.
Yeah, that's a safe.
I'd be surprised if you brought something new or something old, rather.
Yeah, there are a couple of old skills I want to bring back because obviously we have some new support for them. So there's some other decks that I kind of want to bring back in the future, but we'll have to see what we're using. I'll tell you what, let's just fire it in, and then we can see what each other's playing. We'll go with this. Ooh.
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 Hey. I will go second.
Okay. This is the thing, in speed, going first always seems so much worse. Well, a Rex skill and a Weevil skill.
Wonder what they are.
could be anything. Okay, we will go to main phase. I think we will just set a monster and then straight up past the turn.
Okay. I'm gonna set this.
Okay.
I'm gonna normal summon this.
Ooh. Okay. So this does just get you Dragon, Warriors, and normal... Dragon, Warrior, or Spellcaster normal monsters from your deck to your hand, so it's good in pretty much anything.
Go to battle. Let's see what your face down is.
So, it is... Dekoichi. So its flip effect will trigger and I'll get to draw 1 card.
Ooh, interesting. And...
Okay, we'll draw. Standby main, assuming you're not chaining anything in standby or main.
Nope.
I'm going to fire off my Night Beam and target your face down. And then its mandatory effect will destroy 1 monster on the field. Which is very good for me. Does that then trigger your guy? Yes, it does. So now your Blue Dragon Summoner will go off.
View the hand. Just gonna close and shuffle. Yeah.
Alright, now I normal summon Alan Section. I don't know if that's how you pronounce this, but it's got a weird name.
Probably.
And I love the really old Yu-Gi-Oh art that just looks super fucked up. It looks so good, like, but so bad at the same time. Like, this looks like someone's like amateur deviant art drawing.
Yeah, they are wonderful.
But now we will activate our Hyper Metamorphosis. So you can activate the skill where you control a level 3 or lower insect normal monster. Discard 2 cards and tribute a level 3 or lower insect normal monster you control. Just special summon Perfect Ultimate Great Moth from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So, to the graveyard with Security Orb and my Sphere Karibo, and obviously my Alan Section. And then from the deck, here he comes, the Big Daddy himself. Special summon attack, that's what I want. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Unfortunately, any damage your opponent takes the rest of this turn is halved, so this isn't really much of an OTK, even if I had the extra 500. But I can now attack you for 1750.
1750.
And that's my load blown, so it's your turn. Can you out this?
Well, I can set, and end.
Okie dokie. So standby main. I suppose I will normal summon out my Blade Knight, who, because I have one or less card in my hand, he'll gain his boost, so he's up to 2000 attack. Unfortunately, I cannot get his effect to negate flip effect monsters, because I do have the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth out, but if your monster's weak enough, we will attack it with Blade Knight. And then we'll see if you have anything to stop this.
Yep. Click that.
Sphere Karibo. Okay, so to defense mode with my monster. And unfortunately, there is no main phase 2, so I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. It's your turn.
And?
Ooh, straight pass. So that back row could be Windstorm. So because I have a card in my hand, he loses his power boost. But I'm going to normal summon Sphere Karibo to give him his power boost back. Then we'll leave this in defense to play around Windstorm. We'll go to battle phase. We will attempt to attack for 2000.
Yeah, I've got to use this.
Okay, so to defense with my monster. Then we will get him for 300. And then we will pass the turn.
Ah, that's game. GG.
Okay.
Set. I will set the main end.
Alright, we will draw. I suppose, standby main. We will fire off Night Beam. See what we got. Yep, which unfortunately will trigger Night Beam. Will trigger the Mandatory Effect Security Orb, which will trigger Blue Dragon Summoner's effect.
Ew.
Then we will normal summon our Kumotuko, fire off our Hyper Metamorphosis, send 2 cards from hand to grave, being 2 copies of Security Orb, get rid of Kumotuku, and then we will special summon from the deck the one, the only, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. We'll go to battle. Unfortunately, all damage is going to be halved, but we can get him 1750.
Okay.
End phase, pass the turn.
Ooh. Okay. So a normal summon Blue Dragon Summoner.
Okay.
I'm gonna activate Tribute Doll. Serpent Night Dragon, and then I will activate Nightmare Sonic Blast.
Okay, so once per turn you can reveal the top 4 cards of your deck and do one of the following based on the number of monsters revealed. Add one of the revealed monsters to your hand. 2, destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. 3+, both of the above.
Okay, so how do I reveal?
Just like banish. Like,
Banish T?
yeah, or you can nil them, whatever.
Banish FD? No, that'll be face down on it. 1, 2, oh dear. 3, oh there's 1. 4.
Okay, so you can destroy a monster.
I will destroy Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth.
Change it to defense. Eh? Well, goodbye, Moth. Then place the rest of the revealed cards on the bottom of your deck in any order.
Oh, right. I can't attack this turn, so we end.
Alright. We draw for turn. Standby main. I think the play is going to be to set and pass.
Okay. Start turn. Main. I'll activate Sonic Nightmare Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Vanish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh.
Okay. So do you destroy one face-up card your opponent controls? So you can't do that.
I can't do that, but I can add one of the veiled monsters to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add Austin to my hand. And then to bottom of deck. Bottom of deck. Bottom of deck. Well, normal summon double Costin.
Okay.
Go to battle. A bit greedy.
I mean, 17's pretty big.
Oh.
And then 2350. It's a big hit.
Right.
We draw. Stand by main. We will set a monster and pass back to you.
Okay. Another double Costin.
Okay.
Go to battle. Swing.
To the graveyard.
And swing.
Oh no, you don't. You're going to defense mode.
Ooh. Hang on, what's that? Def. That doesn't end my combat, does it? So I
Nope.
can swing with the other Costin.
Alright, well, that is... Yeah, we just ended the turn.
Yep.
Alright, let's go to the next game. Alright, let's take second again. Let's hope for a better opening this time.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna set this
Okay.
in my main, and then
Alright, we will draw. Stand by main. I will set a monster face down, set a back row, and just pass back to you.
fair enough. Look, oh, hang on. Meant to be summoned. Just flip over to Koichi, draw.
Yep.
Set this. Go to battle. See what your face down is.
That's fine. It is Dekoichi, so I will draw a card.
And end.
Alright, draw for turn. Stand by main. I think we will set another back row and then just pass.
Ooh. Okay. The normal summon double Costin.
Okay.
We'll go to battle.
Mm-hmm.
Swing in for 17
Yeah, we'll take the 17.
and 14.
And we'll take the 14. Draw for turn. Oh, that's really not the draw we wanted. Alright, we'll go straight to end phase. Pass back to you.
Ooh. I don't have anything I can play here. I was expecting to lose monsters before now. Swing?
We will windstorm.
Yeah. Defense. Defense. And.
Draw for turn. Yeah, just really not seeing what we want to be seeing here. We will set another back row and pass the turn again.
Okay. You have that. Okay. I'm gonna attack the Koichi,
Okay.
enter battle, and swing.
The defense mode with it.
Okay. And turn.
We will draw. Oh, that is literally the worst draw in the deck. Okay, this is... Oh, looking very bad. Main phase, we will set a monster and pass.
Okay. I need play. Set this.
Okay.
Attack the Koichi.
Okay.
Good battle. Swing your face down.
It is
Ooh,
Kumu
nice.
Toko.
End.
Alright, we'll draw. Standby main. We will activate Night Beam. Target this face down card.
Whoop.
Okay, that is more than fine.
There it is. Couldn't find a grave there. Oh.
Next up, I will. Am I summoning this? I think I am. Normal summon Blade Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Go to battle phase, and we will attack over this Koichi. And then we will pass back to you.
Okay, my turn. Oh man, set this.
Okay.
Normal summon a double custom.
Yep.
Go to battle, attack.
Okay. Nothing on attack declaration. In damage step, we will activate Metal Morph, giving 300 attack. So 19 against your 17.
Yep. 200. This goes to grave. And turn.
Okay, we draw. Standby main. Oh, this is where things get a little bit funky though. Alright, we will set a monster, then go straight to battle, and attempt to attack over double costum.
Yeah, I'm going to declare Sphere Kruber.
Okay. So Blade Knight to defense mode, and then we will pass.
Start turn. That thing. But he gets 300 defense, doesn't he? So he's a 13 defender.
Mm-hmm.
I will normal summon a double custom.
Okay.
Flip summon Blue Dragon Summoner.
Okay.
Go to battle. Attack.
He is gone.
And attack.
And Koichi will draw me a card.
And end.
We draw. Standby main. We will go off with a Night Beam and target this.
Look at this. Tribute doll.
Excellent. So next up, I will. This is very tricky. We will set a back row. We will normal summon Blade Knight, go to battle, and attempt to attack Blue Dragon Summoner.
Yep. To grave. Take 100.
Mm-hmm.
I get to hand.
And then we will pass back.
Oh dear, let's see. Set this. Set this.
Okay.
Tribute one of the double customs for Serpent Night Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Pop off the effect of Sonic Nightmare Blast.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So you destroy a monster.
Yep.
Chew.
Then we want bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. Go to battle. Attack. Double Costin.
Windstorm.
Yeah. Defense. Defense.
Right, we'll draw. Stand by main. We will set a monster and pass back.
Okay. You got that. You got back. Enter battle. Attack.
Do I want to do anything to this attack? That's the question. I think we will. We will Windstorm here.
I will activate Champion's Vigilance.
Negate the activation, destroy it. Okay, that's fine. So then you will kill my Dekoichi. I will draw a card.
Attack directly?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I bricked so hard early. I just had all reactionary cards and had no way to actually put any board presence. And then by the time I was ready and set up, you already had 3 back row, and it was kind of already over at that point. I mean, it happens, doesn't it? Fortunately, card games giveth and they taketh away. Yeah, I was sat there waiting to draw a Dekoichi or a Blade Knight for the longest time, and I just kept drawing like Sphere Karibo, Windstorm, 2 Night Beams. I was like, none of this is helpful. We drew into this eventually, and I was like...
Yeah, I was going to say that when you said that's the worst draw possible, I'm assuming it was the great one.
Yeah, it's a shame as well, because I think in the first game, I played Perfect Ultimate Great Moth too early, when I should have used it to out your Serpent Night Dragon. And so in this game, I was like, okay, well, I'll hold off on it and wait until you play Serpent Night Dragon. And then you just never drew your Serpent Night Dragon. So
never saw it.
So I
got
was like,
bored of never seeing it, flipped over the Blue Summoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, or this deck specifically, the Hyper Metamorphosis, this is kind of the very bad version of the Cocoon deck that will eventually come out. And obviously your deck is good enough that it got an errata, so I think it's safe to say that you were supposed to win this matchup. But yeah, I don't know, the decks are cool, right? Like Serpent Night Dragon is a cool boss monster, and I think the skill actually makes it do something. Because yeah, when Serpent Night Dragon came out, he came out at the same time as a bunch of other cards, like Dark Magician, like Red Eyes Black Dragon, like Blue Eyes White Dragon. And there was no real reason to play any of those weaker monsters until they got support for them, right? Like, why would you play anything than a Blue Eyes if you want to play a 2-tribute monster? But because Speed Duel has the skills, they're able to make these monsters have a bit more of a presence and actually do something. Because that's the thing. There is a lot of support for a lot of the older boss monsters, but usually they come in the form of like a spell or a trap, and then it comes down to a consistency thing. Are you going to see it throughout the course of the game? Then is it worth playing like the really bad boss monster? But because of skills that are just always kind of active outside of the game, it really adds some like viability to some of these cards. Now, I don't know how good Serpent Night Dragon is going to be when we get to like the GX stuff in the future, but it is still a very powerful deck right now, and it's really cool that we get to see something like this. It's like the Perfect Ultimate Great Moth is in a similar situation. It's cool I was able to summon Perfect Ultimate Great Moth, which prior to this, typically the way you summon it is, Petite Moth, slap it in a cocoon and wait 5 turns, which is, needless to say, not very consistent or very competent strategy. But obviously they kind of go overboard in the future when we get the cocoon skill, and it makes getting Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth out a little bit too easy. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This was still quite a good game. Obviously it was a little bit one-sided, but regardless of that, it was cool to see the Serpent Night Dragon versus Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth beatdown. Whereas last week we were also both on Insect and Dinosaur decks, but it didn't feel like it quite had the same weight behind it with like the Insect Queen versus the Twin-Headed King Rex. Here we actually got to see like the 2 big boss monsters.
Yeah, it's nice.
But yeah, GG, buddy.
GG.